And in the world of sports, let's see what's happening in the Women's World Cup. Gab Ellison, over to you.
Latest world sports. Football. FIFA Women's World Cup 2023. Defending champions, the USA suffered a huge scare against Women's World Cup debutants Portugal before scraping through to the last 16. The Stars and Stripes are yet to fire at the tournament, and after being held by the Netherlands in their previous match, suffered another frustrating draw that raised questions about their hopes of winning the tournament for an unprecedented third time in a row. Portugal, who would have caused one of the greatest upsets in the competition's history had they won, hit the post through Ana Capeta in the 91st minute. In the end, the USA were relieved to hear the full-time whistle, the point enough to take them through as runners-up to the Netherlands, who trashed Vietnam 7-0. However, the United States were once again far from their best as they struggled to break down a gritty Portugal defense, while keeper Ines Pereira produced two fine saves to deny recalled forward Lynn Williams. The world's #1 side will now face the winners of Group G, which will be decided on Wednesday with Sweden, the last nation to defeat the USA in a 90-minute game at the World Cup, set to finish top unless there is a 10-goal swing. On a bitterly frustrating night for the four-time world champions in Auckland, midfielder Rose Laville was booked and will miss the next game after her second caution of the tournament. The Netherlands topped Group E of the Women's World Cup ahead of the United States as they secured an emphatic 7-0 victory over Vietnam. SB Brocht scored two sublime, near-identical calling efforts either side of the break. Jill Roord also netted twice with Lake Martens, Katja Snoys, and Danielle van de Donk, the other Dutch scorers. The 2019 runners-up will be in action against the runners-up from Group G in the first last 16 on Sunday. Brazil legend Mater tears up when discussing her legacy. Brazil legend Mater was moved to tears in a news conference before what could be her 23rd and final Women's World Cup match. Brazil must beat Jamaica to guarantee they avoid elimination from Group F. The 37-year-old was visibly emotional when asked about her legacy in the game, having already confirmed this will be her final World Cup. "People stop me. Parents say to me, 'My daughter adores you. She wants to be just like you,'" she said. Since Mater's first World Cup in 2003, women's football has grown massively in terms of media coverage and support, something far removed from her own childhood battling poverty and sexism to get opportunities in the game. "You know what's good? When I started, there were no idols in women's football," she said. "How could there be if you didn't show women's football? How could I understand that I would reach the national team and become a reference point? 20 years ago, nobody knew who Mater was at my first World Cup. 20 years later, we have become a reference for many women all over the world, not only in football. We see many women journalists here today, and we didn't see that before, so we have opened the doors of equality. I hope I answered your question after you made me cry. Mater is the all-time leading goal scorer in World Cups, men's or women's, and if she adds to her tally of 17, she will be the first footballer in history to score at 6 World Cups. She has come off the bench in Brazil's first 2 games in Australia, the opening 4-0 win over Panama, then the 2-1 loss to France in Brisbane. It means Brazil sit third in Group F and will be eliminated if they do not beat Jamaica, who they trail by a point. Unless France suffer a shock loss to Panama, we are going to do our best to keep focused and confident, Mater said at Melbourne Rectangular Stadium. Tomorrow is a decider and we don't want to go home. Brazil have never won the Women's World Cup, coming closest in 2007 when featuring Mater. They reached the final but lost 2-0 to Germany. Tennis. Russia-Ukraine conflict. Fans warned Elina Svitolina and Victoria Azarenka will not shake hands at DC Open. Spectators at the DC Open were warned that Ukraine's Elina Svitolina would not shake hands with Victoria Azarenka. During the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Svitolina has refused to shake hands with opponents from Russia or Belarus. Belarusian Azarenka was booed after Svitolina beat her at Wimbledon, and to avoid a repeat, the scoreboard showed a message during Svitolina's 7-6, 7-2, 6-4 first-round win in Washington, D.C. "It's the right thing," said world number 27 Svitolina. I asked for the WTA, Women's Tennis Association, to respect the decision of Ukrainians, and they did. At the end of the match, both players headed straight to the sidelines and the umpire. Two-time Australian Open champion Azarenka, playing on her 34th birthday, said the warning to fans had arrived 18 months too late and asked whether it was a big story. We just move on. We'll play a tennis match. As I said in Wimbledon, I accept, respect somebody's position. That's it, she added. Both players had failed to clinch the first set on their own serve before Wimbledon semi-finalist Svitolina won it in a tie-break. The message was shown after the first set, and there was just one hold of serve in the second as 28-year-old Svitolina sealed victory over the world number 19. Gab Ellison reporting from Dundee, ABC Amba News.